So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Adam's AI Adventures. Adam, take us away.
Thanks, John. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. I'm here to share today about Agent Building 101. This was a lightning talk from the GenAI World 2024, so I'm going to try and keep it around 7 to 10 minutes. Fortunately, we have a lot of extra time here in the Learning Lab, so we can pause along the way for questions. During the lightning talk, there's no interruptions. I'm also going to speak a little bit slower because I had a tough time packing all of this into 7 minutes, and we have the time today. I also want to encourage you right now, if you have anything you'd like to share in terms of prompts or new technologies, there'll be a lot of time for it at the end of the Learning Lab today. So go ahead and start thinking about what you'd like to contribute to the community. And I won't be monitoring the hands, so please just come off mute and interrupt me if you have a question or there's anything you'd like to add. So just a brief introduction. By day, I actually work here in Australia as an AI solution architect at the enterprise level with Microsoft's largest partner. So I'm pretty deep into Copilot, Copilot Studio, Azure AI Open Studio, all of the Microsoft AI stack. And then at night, I'm one of the research analysts that's on that news briefing show. QR codes there. If you need them, I will share this deck out as well. So what even is an AI agent, right? We hear this word a lot, and there's probably about as many definitions as when you ask someone what AI means, right? And they might mean a large language model specifically. So there's different layers of sophistication. So I asked ChatGPT a little bit about how it would define agents, and it talked about things like business assistants, research agents, autonomous bots, personal organizers. It wasn't too bad, actually, but what I wanted to highlight here, because that slide is not perfect, is how well this tool Ideogram did. This is a bit of an aside. Ideogram is a text-to-image tool, and you look at the prompt on the right there, and you can see I highlighted. I actually literally had ChatGPT write me a prompt for this tool, and it said, like, have categories for business assistant, creative tools, research agents, etc. And Ideogram did a fairly good job. It got all of the lettering right for all 5 of those categories. So when you're thinking about where you need to actually make a slide with a lot of text on it, this tool Ideogram is a really great option. You can see exploring the world of AI agents. It didn't quite get exploring right, but it's pretty close. And I always just take things like this into Photoshop if I need to do edits afterwards. But bit of an aside, but check out Ideogram if it's not a tool you're already familiar with. It did a pretty good job. So that being said, what exactly is an agent? LangChain, I just actually found this last night. They had a really great page, an article titled, "What is an AI agent?" And on it, among other things, they talk about the level of autonomy in large language model applications. And it really resonates with me, similar to like with self-driving. There's where the human is almost entirely in control. And then as we get more sophisticated with these agents, or in the case of cars, self-driving vehicles, the car has a higher and higher level of autonomy and does more of the work on its own. They also have it broken up into who makes the decision about the output of the step, who decides which steps to take, and then who decides which steps are available to take. And I think this is a really good way to look at from fully human to fully autonomous computer driven. This shows the whole spectrum, and we can start to have levels. So we can say, oh, well, this is an agent chain, or this is just an LLM call. It's still mostly human driven, all the way to a state machine or an autonomous agent. So you can check that out. Just search for LangChain, what is an AI agent, if you want to find this table. That being said, custom GPTs are agents, and I'm going to share a little bit today about how to make one of those because they're super helpful. If you have a ChatGPT they're super helpful, and if you have a ChatGPT subscription, you can go ahead and make these right now. So you'll see I have the screenshot up here in the upper right. If you go to your profile and you say My GPTs, there's an option to create a GPT, and that's where you start. I'm going to share a little bit about today for Virgin Australia, the airline company. I did a demo for their organizational change management about this, and I made one for them based on their 2023 sustainability report. Just an example of a way you can take public information and just make it more consumable and accessible by having this agent that's effectively just being the front end between you and the information that you're sharing about. So as usually is the case, it starts with a prompt. So I was chatting with ChatGPT, and I find I build agents if there's something I either want to provide to other people, or it's an activity that I'm going to find I'm going to want to do repeatedly. So in this case, I uploaded this report. I wanted to chat about it. What were some good insights, some graphs? And as it started to respond to me, I realized, oh, actually, you know what? I can share this with other people. Let me go in and actually build an agent, upload that PDF, and then I can provide a link to anyone, and they can go have a similar conversation themselves. So when you click that create a GPT option, you'll get into an interface like this. And under the create tab, you'll actually be able to have a conversation with ChatGPT in natural language, and it will do the backend configuration for you. Over time, I encourage you to actually start going into configuring them manually, or at least doing fine tuning and edits. But you can just say, as I show here, let's make a GPT that employees at Virgin can use to ask questions and gain insights into this report. And it went and configured the system prompt, told it how to behave, asked me questions like how do we want the user to be interact with it? Should it be more colorful or stick more to the facts? So here we can see a screenshot of the configure tab, and you can see in there all the details. It's written these instructions. It's given it a description. You can use DALL-E to create a logo for it, like a profile picture, or you can upload those yourself. And then you'll see there's the conversation starters. And on the right-hand side here is actually like a dynamic sandbox. So before you save this thing, before you share it with anyone else, as you make edits to the instructions, you can go on the right and chat with your final bot, with your final agent, and it will show you how it's going to behave. So it's just a really quick way to iterate and test and refine the capabilities. Once you're done, you save it, you share it. You can specify if only you want access, whether it's accessible privately with a link, or whether it goes into GPT store, which means it's searchable and discoverable by everyone. In this case, I made it anyone with the link. You just save, copy the link, and then I can share that out with the OCM team over at Virgin Australia, and they can all chat with it as well. QR code in the corner here is actually to that report. You can try it yourself if you want to. I said these will be in the slides, but you can also just grab that with your phone at some point if you want to bring up the URL. So GAI Insights uses agents as well. And as I was preparing for the conference, I was thinking about the term eat your own dog food. And I was realizing, or drink your own champagne. There's a few different ways to say that we use the technologies that we help enable other people with. And I was trying to think of what would be the best way to say it during the presentation. So I just asked ChatGPT. And ChatGPT came up with a few options. You can walk the talk, you can lead by example, you can put your money where your mouth is. I thought this was just great, and I decided to go with leading by example of all things. So here's a few examples of the ways that we actually use agents within GAI Insights. So in the bottom right there, I'll start there actually. We, using customgpt.com, we actually created a chat agent that we had all of the knowledge about the conference. And that chatbot was available on the website. And you could ask it about, for example, I want to know about attendance and tickets, and it could give you the details for the event. In the upper left there, the newsletter generator. This is a tool that we use internally every day so that we can publish that daily mail. And we actually take the transcript from our daily call, along with the URLs, the titles of the articles, and we have an AI that helps us write the first pass, or I should say an agent, that helps us write the first pass at what we're going to put for the rationale. And it actually goes into what did the likes of myself and Luda and John say? What did the analysts say on the call? What were their insights? And so why did we end up giving this this article the rating we did? It saves us a lot of time, probably 45 minutes to an hour a day we save. And I built this one just in the same manner as what I showcased earlier today. YouTube Descriptionator, I use this after calls like this. Again, I upload the transcript file to it, and whoever did the showcase or was our guest presenter for the day, it helps me summarize what they said so that I can put a description onto YouTube. And then in the upper right here, I never took it out of beta. It's just something I use myself, but that's actually how we create that ratings page that has all the articles. After the daily news goes out, that email, I can actually paste it into this bot, and it will use the API and connect to HubSpot and actually write that information into the database there. So that's a little bit more of an advanced agent because it's not just looking at information and answering questions. It's actually acting on my behalf. It's making a database connection. It's uploading information to that database. But these are just some of the ways that we use agents ourselves and what we do here at GAI Insights. Appreciate your time. That's it for Agent Building 101 at Learning Lab 2024 rather than Generative AI World 2024.